French toast is one of the cheapest recipes that you can make, and I'm going to show you how to actually make it even cheaper by just making your own bread. I have a whole video on sourdough bread that tells you from start to finish how to make your own. This is going to cost you pennies on the dollar. You're going to love it. I have a few secret ingredients. I'm going to run through that right now. Really, the three main ingredients you need are bread, eggs, butter to fry your French toast. I'm using my sourdough bread. Like I said, I have a whole video on how to make that. It is the best resource that you're going to find on the internet on sourdough bread. The other things I like to use are, this is vanilla extract. We make our own here. I use a little bit of sugar. In this case, we're using coconut sugar and then cinnamon. It's very simple. It comes together very quickly. You cut yourself a nice slice of sourdough. We'll go with a thick boy today. For the next part here, I like to use a plate because I can lay out the toast on the plate here. So crack your egg right into the plate. A little bit of vanilla. Cinnamon, about half teaspoon. Cinnamon, sugary. And then just mix this in. So you can add like cream or milk to this if you want. I find you don't really need to do that. I just like to do it this way. It makes a little bit more eggier of a toast, but that's kind of what I like. This is kind of like a mini custard kind of thing. I already got my butter in the pan here. I'm actually gonna start to melt that and get my toast soaking in here. And that is it. I'm gonna let this actually soak in for a little while. This sourdough you can see is very dense. So I wanna actually get these nice and coated and then flip. I would say like 1 egg per person, 1 to 2 eggs, depending on how much French toast you wanna make them. But you want this all to soak in nicely. And after a few minutes it does that. You can see there's almost no egg left. Another thing, Irish butter a must. This is the best butter you can buy. So if you find this, stock up. It's awesome. Once you start to see that foam on the butter, you're ready to go. So I'm gonna put that in the pan. You're gonna make a little mess, who cares? Clean it up after. Let that sit. I don't have this over too high of a heat because I don't want this to cook too fast. It's gotta cook the egg all the way through. So it's gonna take a few minutes. Breaking down the cost of this dish, I estimate this costs anywhere between 20 cents and $1, depending on how fancy the eggs and the butter that you buy. The bread costs you almost nothing. You got flour around. You made the sourdough yourself. So that costed you nothing. So all you gotta do is buy the butter and a couple of those other ingredients. The cinnamon, I use the fanciest cinnamon I could buy. I use half a teaspoon of that. And if that costs more than 5 cents, this is literally the lowest cost that you could find. When it's time to flip it, you will know, it smells like fantastic in here. You can see nice and dark. That's because we added some sugar to this. That sugar is gonna caramelize. Look at that, so good. And now what I'm gonna do is, there's a little butter around the pan. I'm just gonna kind of roll the toast around to pick up some of that butter. And just let it go on the other side a couple minutes. I think it was about 2 minutes on that first side. Be sure to subscribe to the channel here. We make delicious recipes like this every week, do dining reviews every week. So you're not gonna wanna miss that, and hit the bell. You get notified when the new videos are posted. I'm also posting YouTube shorts, so having a lot of fun on the channel here. Make sure you subscribe. That's basically it. Well, you don't want it to get too hot because it'll burn. You see that? That's the kind of the consistency that you want. So right onto your plate, right onto your plate. Looks perfect. Perfect. For me, there's just one thing that goes on French toast, and it's maple syrup, or like we call it here, maple syrup. And I don't overdo it, just a little, a teaspoon if that. So there's our French toast. You can see it barely even permeated the sourdough. So this is what I love about this, is like you're eating sourdough, but you got that exterior that's also a little bit, you know, custardy. So let's try it. Wow, I was actually wrong. It did actually permeate all the way through, moistened it nicely. This is the first time I've ever actually made this with sourdough. I thought I was being cute by just saying this costs nothing, but that's good. I'm gonna be making that again. Hope you like this recipe. If you did, I'm gonna leave a link to all my recipe videos right here. I also do dining reviews. I'll leave those right here, and you can check all that out.